Welcome to Rick's Corner. I'm sitting here with a very, very well-known bodybuilder who's become a very good friend of mine, who's won numerous titles, and I think is one of the most solid men I've ever met in my life. A great friend, a very smart man. I've learned a lot from him, and he's here gracing me today, Rick Valente.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. Now, I know that we met years ago, and we've talked a lot, and I have no idea where we met. Isn't that weird?
I think we met at World Gym, the old World Gym, years ago, briefly. But I also remember the World Gym over on Venice and Lincoln.
Yes.
I think we bumped into each other a few times there because I got close with the old timers for the last 6-7 years of that existence.
Well, we did, but no one ever said, "Hey, Rick, this is Rick."
Yeah, I know. But I always knew who you were.
And I knew who you were.
So it was beautiful.
And how could I forget your name?
That's right. See, that's the easiest part about this.
Well, a lot of people have written into me and said, when are you going to get Rick Valente on? So here we are. And so I kind of like run this a little bit like, you remember the show This Is Your Life?
Yes, sir.
You know, we bring out your principal and your old 6th grade teacher.
Oh, boy.
And your neighbors from the past.
Well, I hope it's Miss Scally. I had a crush on her in 6th grade. I hope she's coming out.
Well, I don't have them here, but we'll pretend.
All right.
Let's talk about something. When you were growing up and you got involved in bodybuilding, what inspired you, and at what age did you start that?
Well, I'll tell you, it's a funny story. I was first going to be Bruce Lee.
You do look like him.
I wanted to be Bruce Lee. I really did. I mean, and what's funny is I put a vision board up in my basement before I even knew what a vision board was. About 10 years old, I put all of Bruce Lee's pictures up, started studying martial arts, going to judo class, karate class, and then I saw the movie Pumping Iron.
Yeah.
Everything shifted to bodybuilding.
Oh yeah, I can see
So
that.
then I put pictures of Arnold up and all the guys, Ed Corney, all the guys from that era,
Right.
you know. And I graduated high school and moved to Florida, became a lifeguard during the day and worked the door of a club at night.
Yeah.
And that's the bodybuilding started to just grow and, you know, make progress. Then I moved to LA around 1980.
Mm-hmm.
And entered the Mr. Los Angeles and won that show.
And it started there?
And it all just snowballed. I met Rick.
You mean there's a third one?
There's another one. He was in charge of what was the magazine? Flex magazine.
Oh, who was that?
Yes, he gave me my first break. He came backstage and said, I definitely want to work with you. We're going to do a lot of things together, and we did. And his son's name was Kevin. Rick gave me my first cover shot. I'll never forget it.
Really? I don't remember who that was. Not Rick Wayne.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Rick Wayne.
Rick
Of course.
Wayne.
Of course.
Great bodybuilder in his own right.
Yes, he was. He is a great bodybuilder. You had done some TV work and film work.
Yes.
Actually, a lot of it.
Yes.
Let's talk about some of that stuff.
You know, I was blessed. Coming to Gold's Gym was a gift for me because Ed Connors, Tim Kimber, all those guys, Pete Krumkowski, Paul Krumkowski, they really opened up the gym to me. They were great to me. Derek Barton, every time there was a casting call, he would let me know.
Yeah.
I mean, I got most of my work because of Gold's Gym in Venice.
I did too.
I got the ESPN Body Shaping Show. I got the Van Halen album cover through Gold's Gym and dozens and dozens of commercials.
This would only happen in LA.
That's right.
The original Golds, I had mentioned before, had a payphone on the wall, and I had to work the front desk for a little bit in the mornings, and the phone would ring. We need bodybuilders for something. I answered the phone. You guys, let's go, and we get the jobs. And then that parlayed into what Golds was with Derek Barton. We get the calls, like you said. He'd come downstairs and see who was there and ask the guys, let's go. Gold's Gym is always a good place to get work.
Yes.
Even to this day, and you're there, and I go down to Venice, it's great networking because you never know who's who.
Well, now that the internet is so big,
Yeah.
it's a platform for you to do anything you want. There's no more excuses.
You're
You
right.
could do anything.
Right.
Send pictures. I mean, cross-marketing. We do it all the time.
All the time.
So if there's a project we're working on or you're working on, you get a hold of me. We set out blogs, video clips, whatever it is. There's no more excuse that you're not on the West Coast in California because you could do it anywhere.
Anywhere. It's just you can't be lazy.
That's right.
You know, you can do anything that we're doing but you got to take the initiative to do it. And some people say, well, where do I start? I don't know where to begin. You market yourself. You know, you take yourself and who you are, and you parlay that into something that you can do, that you have a skill to do. I mean, people come to me for wrestling, and they call me and they say, I want to be the next WWE superstar. And they're on the phone. I said, do you look in the mirror? Do you look like those guys on TV? Do you have any media? Do you have pictures? Do you have videos?
Right.
No. Well, you got to start somewhere.
Right.
And then bodybuilders will call and say, how do you get in the movie business? I want to be in the film business.
Right.
Well, not all bodybuilders make it, because they're not looking for that necessarily. They're looking for the personality and charisma and a nice body that goes with it.
Well, you know, Rick, I've learned that no matter what it is in life that you want, your project goes as far as you take it. So if you want it bad enough, you'll make it happen.
Exactly.
So it doesn't even matter what it is. I mean, you know, I watch these shows today like The Voice, American Idol. I love these shows. They give these kids a platform to really perform and get their message out there. Then it's on YouTube. You could buy this song the same night, download it off of, what is it, iTunes.
iTunes, right.
I mean, it's amazing. So the internet now has opened up a huge world to anybody, no matter what your skill set is or your desire or passion.
Right.
You can do it.
You can do it.
I agree.
Now, with your bodybuilding, that was in the 80s.
Yes.
You missed the 70s, didn't you?
I missed you know, I came out in 1979 to visit with Ronnie Magnum. He entered, I believe it was either the Mr. USA or the Mr. America at the Santa Monica Civic Center.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. I mean, I remember walking into Gold's Gym. That time it was at 2nd Street.
Right.
And I walked by the front door, and Ken Waller scared the shit out of me. I walked by the desk, and he goes, "Hey!" And I was this little kid, skating up. And he goes, "What do you want?" And I was like, and
that was Ken.
Ken was great. I mean, listen, what an experience. Once I came to visit, I knew I had to be here.
Yeah. That gym was right next to the Pussycat Theater.
Yes.
We all talked about that.
Yes, that's funny.
Well, the 70s, you know, that was the golden era. That's when everything happened down in Venice. Unfortunately, you came out after they moved the gym to there.
Yes.
But you know all the stories.
Well, listen, I'll tell you, when I first came to Gold's, it was one room, and it was basically all competitive bodybuilders, powerlifters, and freaks. I mean, you walked in and the hair on the back of your neck stood up because the energy was so crazy.
Yes.
I mean, you had the Barbarian Brothers reverse grip bench pressing 500 pounds.
Yeah.
You had Tom Platz doing 30, 40 reps with 405 at the squat rack. I mean, it was just crazy. Insane stuff that I am blessed and grateful I had a chance to play in. Maybe we trained wrong. I'm not saying it was the right way. We trained until we ripped the muscle off the bone. 100-pound dumbbell curls, bench pressing. I mean, I can go on all day about Lyle Alzado, just all the different characters that were in this one room. You know, we'd all go to the back of the gym and open up the door because that's where the lighting was the best. And there would always be somebody working on their posing routine. So, I mean, it was always so intense.
They had the natural lighting from above.
Yes.
Your training was 6 days a week back then?
Oh, yeah.
Heavy training? Heavy weights?
Oh, I tore a pec and a hamstring. So listen, it was me against me. But I was around so many strong guys. I mean, everybody was inclining 405, declining 405. I mean, I used to bench press 405 with my feet up for 10, 15 reps. I mean, nobody would believe me now. Of course, I'm 53 years old and I can't move around those weights anymore.
I have video of my doing that.
See, that's incredible. I didn't have the video or the phones then. So I have a few pictures that I captured and I posted them. You know, they're out there. But
and not only have a video, some guy called me on my cell phone, and I had said I'd done 21 reps at 315 pounds on the bench. He called me when he saw the video. He says, "I was your training partner, Brian Kurth, and I spotted you, and I saved it on my voicemail, just to validate it." Yeah, I mean, people believe it, but you know, when you hear it, it's
no. I wish I had. Listen, I have a lot of pictures. I did over 40 commercials, 50 covers, and I have some of that, but I wish I had captured a lot of the commercials of the actual work I was doing. And, you know, for all the kids out there, I tell them today, document your journey.
Always.
Take pictures.
Always.
And now with the cell phones, there's no excuses. So, I mean, we should have a picture of this so we could, you know, have it.
Oh, we will have it.
You know what I mean?
Trust me.
I love all this stuff. And listen, I just got on Facebook in January. So I'm just getting the joke about all this cross-marketing, and I love it.
Oh, it's so big.
I love it. I'm working on so many things. At my age, I like doing things that I'm passionate about.
Right.
So I hooked up with Shad Meshad, who's the founder of the National Veterans Foundation, and I'm helping him raise money, doing PR stuff with Boom Boom Mancini. Great bunch of guys, and what a privilege to help the kids coming back from war with therapy, jobs. I mean, listen, they give us the freedom to do this.
Yeah.
Without the soldier, we can't do what we're doing.
That's true.
So I hooked up with the National Veterans Foundation. I hooked up with the bakery, the famous Ferrara Bakery on Grand Street in Little Italy. For me, it's an honor. A kid from back east.
Yeah.
I'm the national spokesman for Ferrara Cafe. I'm honored.
Yeah.
And listen, they've been making cheesecakes and cannolis for 120 years in the same place. The best in the world.
It's not on your diet.
Listen, once in a week, I believe you got to enjoy life and live.
Yeah.
So listen, you go out to dinner with a beautiful lady, you have a nice Italian meal, and you want to have a cannoli, come on.
Yeah. No, you don't turn it down.
Come on. So, you know, I just got the okay to move forward with a Gregory Hines documentary. I'm blessed and honored to do this. I loved Gregory. He was a very good friend of mine.
He trained down in Venice, right?
He trained down in Venice, sure.
That's right.
I trained Gregory for the movie Tap.
Yeah.
Jelly's Last Jam on Broadway. I was with him in New York on that. I mean, I did a few of his shows. He had a TV show running for a while. Gregory was the coolest cat I ever met in my life. Smooth as silk.
Wow.
Nice. You know how I met him? He came up to me and said, Rick Valente, I'm a big fan.
Oh, how nice.
I started training him. And I'll never forget this, Rick. We started talking price about how much to charge. And this is way back in the early 80s.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm like, okay, $40. You know, that was big money back then.
You were testing.
And I swear to God, here's what he said to me. He goes, nah, 75.
Really?
I swear to God, that's a true story, because he knew the studio was going to pay for the training.
I see.
So he knew I needed money. I was living in a single back then, parking cars and stuff. And he helped me out. So we became really good friends. He's a great guy. And what always bothered me so much is when he passed, John Ritter passed around the same time.
Yeah.
I think almost the same day.
Yeah.
John Ritter got a 10-page spread in People magazine with the cover. Gregory got a little stamp in the back in a sentence.
Yeah. That happens.
That just, it bothered me ever since then. And I told myself I'm going to do a documentary on Gregory's life because he deserves it. Listen, he was a phenomenal dancer.
Oh, yeah.
He was a good actor. And he was a good singer. The man was really talented. So, listen, I can go on all day about all these different things I'm working on. I have different interviews. I'm doing a documentary on this girl, Desiree Bassett. She's the lead guitarist right